Genesis chapter 2 describes the location of the Garden of Eden in relationship to 4 rivers. 3 of these rivers are known, and one is a mystery, the lost river of Eden, so to speak.
For generations, scholars and explorers have embarked on a relentless quest, scouring ancient texts and traversing treacherous landscapes, all in pursuit of a single elusive clue. They sought the location of one of the 4 fabled rivers described in the Bible as flowing from the Garden of Eden. Despite countless expeditions and exhaustive research, the river's whereabouts remained shrouded in mystery. The question lingered: where is the Pishon River, and why has it eluded discovery for so long? Join us on a thrilling journey as we uncover the secrets of the Garden of Eden's Pishon River, a mystery that has just been solved. A garden of unequaled beauty. Picture a time when the world was a canvas of untouched splendor, brimming with the whispers of divine creation. This enchanting realm, known as the Garden of Eden, was a sanctuary of unparalleled beauty and tranquility. According to the opening chapter of the Bible, the book of Genesis, this garden was an epitome of perfection. Within Eden's lush borders, the Almighty crafted an array of trees, each more mesmerizing than the last. These trees were not only a feast for the eyes, but also a source of nourishment, offering a world of endless abundance and joy. It was a paradise where every corner held a promise of wonder and delight, a testament to the boundless creativity and generosity of its creator, the 4 rivers of Eden. Beyond its enchanting allure, the Garden of Eden played a pivotal role as the source of life-giving waters. From Eden flowed 4 majestic rivers, each carrying its own unique story and significance. These rivers were more than mere waterways. They were channels of divine grace, nourishing lands far beyond the garden's borders and laying the foundations for emerging civilizations. They shaped the course of human history and guided the paths of early exploration and settlement. 3 of these rivers, Gihon, Hiddekel, also known as the Tigris, and the Euphrates, are well documented and familiar to us. Yet the first river, Pishon, remains shrouded in mystery. Often referred to as the Lost River of Eden, the Pishon River has captivated the imagination of scholars and explorers alike, igniting curiosity and prompting numerous questions about the secrets it might hold. The Gihon River. The Gihon River, one of the 4 legendary rivers of Eden, is described in the Bible as encircling the entire land of Ethiopia. This reference to Ethiopia corresponds to an ancient region in Africa, situated west of the Red Sea and extending southward. While the modern borders of Ethiopia differ from those of biblical times, the general area remains consistent with historical accounts. A river flowing from what is now the Red Sea Basin, coursing southward into Africa and weaving through the Afar Triangle. Such a route perfectly aligns with the biblical description of a river that surrounds the land of Ethiopia. This suggests that the Gihon River might have followed this ancient path, its waters nurturing the landscape and fostering the growth of early civilizations. The Hiddekel River. The second river of Eden, known as Hiddekel, carries a name that embodies qualities of sharpness, swiftness, and light. This description has long been linked to the Tigris River, a major waterway in Mesopotamia. The Tigris holds significant historical and cultural importance. It is the same river that the prophet Jonah would have crossed on his mission to deliver a divine message to the city of Nineveh. Historical and spiritual significance. In the book of Daniel, the prophet describes a vision he experienced beside the great river Hiddekel. In this vision, Daniel encounters a magnificent figure with dazzling features, reminiscent of the descriptions of Jesus in the Apostle John's book of Revelation. Both visions portray a divine being with awe-inspiring characteristics, highlighting profound spiritual experiences. A key difference between the 2 accounts is their setting. Daniel's vision takes place by the Hiddekel River, while John's vision occurs on the island of Patmos. Despite this difference, both visions underscore a powerful sense of divine presence and authority. The Euphrates River, a cradle of civilization. The Euphrates River is more than just a waterway. It is a storied river that has played a pivotal role in the history and development of many ancient civilizations. Its life-giving waters have nurtured societies, facilitated trade, and symbolized boundaries and resilience through the ages. A river of legends and lifelines. Spanning an impressive 1,730 miles, the Euphrates holds the distinction of being the largest river in Southwest Asia. Its journey begins where two tributaries, the Karasu River and the Murat River, converge. The Karasu originates in the Armenian highlands near Erzurum in present-day eastern Turkey, while the Murat River starts southwest of Mount Ararat, north of Lake Van, the heartland of ancient empires. The fertile valley carved by the Euphrates became the heartland of some of the most powerful and influential empires in history, such as Babylonia and Assyria. These empires thrived along its banks, harnessing its waters for agriculture, transportation, and sustenance. The Euphrates also served as a critical geographical marker, delineating the eastern boundaries of Egyptian and Roman territories and the western edge of the Persian Empire, a symbol of cultural and religious significance. The Euphrates River holds deep significance in various religious and cultural contexts. In Islamic history, it is notably remembered for the Battle of Karbala, where Imam Hussein and his companions were martyred. This event remains a poignant moment of martyrdom and sacrifice. In the biblical narrative, the Euphrates is a key landmark, symbolizing a boundary in the land promised to Abraham's descendants through Isaac and Jacob. Often referred to simply as the river in Hebrew scriptures, it embodies a divine covenant stretching from the river of Egypt to the great Euphrates, marking the extent of the promised land. A river of boundaries and passageways. Throughout history, the Euphrates has served multiple purposes: as a natural boundary separating lands, a passageway facilitating movement and trade, and a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. Its waters have witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of civilizations, and countless stories of human endeavor and perseverance. The search for the Pishon River. To locate the mysterious lost river, the Pishon, we must delve deeply into the Genesis narrative. The Bible provides a crucial clue. The Pishon River winds its way through the entire land of Havilah. By identifying where Havilah was situated in ancient times, we can narrow our search for the Pishon River. A journey through ancient lands. According to Genesis 2, Havilah is described as being opposite Egypt and in the direction of Assyria. This intriguing clue points us toward the Arabian Peninsula, specifically the region now known as the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This area, lying east of Egypt and on the route to Assyria, fits the biblical description of Havilah. The Arabian Peninsula, a closer look today. The Arabian Peninsula is a vast expanse of desert, with no visible rivers flowing across it. This raises an intriguing question. Could there have been a river in this region in ancient times? Recent geological and hydrological studies suggest that this is indeed a possibility. Satellite imagery and research have revealed the presence of ancient riverbeds and networks of waterways that once flowed through this now arid land. The Pishon River, an ancient lifeline. In ancient times, the Arabian Peninsula might have been home to a thriving river system, possibly the Pishon River. This river could have provided essential water for early human settlements, supporting agriculture, trade, and travel. Its existence would have played a crucial role in the development of civilizations in this harsh environment. Evidence of an ancient river modern technology has allowed us to uncover evidence that supports the existence of ancient rivers in the Arabian Peninsula. Satellite images have revealed dried-up riverbeds and patterns that suggest the flow of significant waterways in the past. These findings align with the biblical description of a river that once nourished the land of Havilah, rich in gold and precious resources, uncovering the secrets of the Pishon River. The search for the Pishon River is more than a quest for a lost waterway. It is a journey into the heart of ancient history and the origins of human civilization. By piecing together clues from the Bible, geological evidence, and modern technology, we can reconstruct the path of this elusive river and uncover the secrets it holds. Theories on the location of Eden. When we delve into the Genesis 2 narrative and examine the accompanying maps in the ESV Bible, we encounter two prominent theories regarding the possible location of the Garden of Eden. a northern theory and a southern theory. Both regions present intriguing possibilities, but also notable challenges. The northern theory, mountains and discrepancies. The northern theory places Eden in a mountainous region where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers originate. This area, while significant for its historical and geographical context, raises several issues. Terrain. The rugged, mountainous terrain seems an unlikely setting for the lush, fertile garden described in Genesis. A garden typically requires flat, well-watered land, not steep and rocky slopes. Rivers. Although the Tigris and Euphrates originate in this region, they do not converge into a single river, as the Genesis account suggests. Genesis describes a river flowing out of Eden that splits into 4 rivers, implying a single source. These inconsistencies suggest that the northern theory may not fully align with the biblical description. The southern theory, a more logical fit. The southern theory, which places Eden in a region more conducive to the flow and convergence of rivers, aligns better with the biblical account. River convergence. Genesis 2 clearly states that a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden and then split into 4 rivers: Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, Hiddekel, and Euphrates. This indicates that at some point, these rivers were united, supporting the idea of a central source. Geographical plausibility. A more central location, perhaps closer to the Arabian Peninsula, offers a plausible setting where ancient river systems could converge and then split. Modern research has suggested that ancient riverbeds exist in this region, indicating that significant waterways once flowed here. Re-examining the description in Genesis. To reconcile these theories with the Genesis account, it's crucial to focus on the specific details provided. Eden as a source. The description in Genesis implies that Eden itself was a source of water, with a river originating there and then branching into 4 distinct rivers. Geographical fit. For Eden to serve as a source, it would need to be located in a region where such a convergence and divergence of rivers is geographically plausible. Revisiting the Arabian Peninsula. Given the clues, the Arabian Peninsula emerges as a strong candidate. Ancient waterways, evidence of ancient river systems and fertile regions in what is now the desert, supports the idea that this area could once have supported a lush, garden-like environment. Historical and biblical alignment. This region fits the biblical descriptions more closely, with potential links to the lands of Havilah and the routes towards Assyria. Continuing the exploration, the Karun River and the land of Cush. Continuing the exploration, going further south to where the Karun River joins the Tigris and Euphrates, is also necessary. The Karun River is believed to be the main candidate for the Gihon as it flows through the ancient land of Cush, known in ancient times as the land of the Cades. Interestingly, there are 2 lands named Cush, one in Africa, near Ethiopia, and the other in Central Asia. In the ancient land of the African Cush, situated along the banks of the Nile River in what is now northern Sudan, a remarkable civilization flourished. Despite early rule by neighboring powers, the kings and queens of Cush rose to challenge some of history's most fearsome empires. The rise of the Kushite Empire, 1500 to 1100 BCE. During the period from 1500 to 1100 BCE, Egypt held sway over Cush, imparting its cultural and religious customs upon the region. However, Cush's roots ran deep, with its civilization predating this period by over 1,000 years. At its height, the city of Kerma served as its capital, boasting grand temples, palaces, and residences. Notably, the Kushites tapped into rich gold mines, fostering a vibrant trade network that spanned across Africa. They crafted bronze weaponry, traded valuable commodities like incense and ivory, and established themselves as a dominant force in the region. Cush's fortunes shifted when Egypt descended into internal strife, creating an opportunity for Kushite expansion. Under the leadership of King Pienki, Cush launched a bold military campaign, seizing control of Egyptian territories. Pienki's conquests extended as far as the Egyptian capital of Memphis, where he left his mark by appointing his sister as the high priestess of the respected god Amun. This period marked a high point for the Kushite Empire. characterized by flourishing trade and the construction of huge structures along the Nile. Challenges and transformation. After 1100 BCE, the Kingdom of Kush, known for its prosperity and cultural achievements, faced significant challenges that ultimately transformed its history. After 1100 BCE, the thriving Kushite Empire attracted the attention of the expansionist Assyrians. Despite their valiant efforts to resist these formidable invaders, Kush eventually succumbed to the relentless external pressures. This marked the downfall of their empire. However, the spirit of Kush endured, the relocation to Meroe and adaptation. In response to these pressures, the Kushites strategically relocated their capital to the city of Meroe. This move signaled a new era for Kush, characterized by adaptation and innovation. They embraced new religious beliefs, prominently centered around the lion-headed god Apedemek. This period saw the construction of impressive cities in the savannah and the development of advanced water management systems, showcasing their resilience and ingenuity. Resilience and defiance. The Kushite spirit of resilience was epitomized by Queen Amanirenas, who led her armies against the Roman invasion. Her leadership resulted in a remarkable victory, during which the Kushites captured a symbolic trophy from the Romans, highlighting their defiance and strength. Despite facing continuous challenges from rival kingdoms and internal strife, the Kushite civilization persevered until around 350 CE, when the kingdom of Aksum delivered the final blow, bringing an end to Kushite rule. Rediscovering Kush's legacy throughout history. The legacy of Kush has often been overshadowed by the more prominent narrative of Egypt. However, modern efforts to re-examine and appreciate the contributions of Kush are shedding light on this rich civilization. Kush's culture, innovations, and resilience are being recognized, offering a more comprehensive understanding of its impact on world history. Hindu Kush, from temples to transformation. The region known as Hindu Kush, located in Central Asia, was once a vibrant center of Hindu worship. It was home to hundreds of temples, thousands of shrines, and numerous inscriptions dedicated to the deities Shiva and Parvati. This land resonated with the chants, prayers, and legends of Hinduism, reflecting a rich spiritual heritage. The gradual shift to Islam. Over time, the region experienced a gradual transformation, losing its Hindu identity and embracing Islam. Today, Afghanistan, a predominantly Muslim country, shares its borders with India and is separated from it by Pakistan. Historically, until around 980 CE, Afghanistan had a Hindu majority with widespread worship of Shiva. However, this changed dramatically when Sabuktakian from Ghazni invaded the region and overthrew the ruling Hindu king Jaipal Shahi. The name Afghanistan. The name Afghanistan itself has Sanskrit origins, meaning the place inhabited by allied tribes, referring to the Pashtuns or Pathans, who form a significant portion of Afghanistan's population today. This linguistic connection highlights the deep historical ties between the region and the ancient Hindu civilization. Cultural heritage and modern identity. While Afghanistan is now predominantly Islamic, its history as a land of Hindus and Buddhists is a testament to its diverse cultural heritage. The remnants of ancient temples and inscriptions offer glimpses into a time when the region was a hub of spiritual and cultural activity. Efforts to preserve and study this heritage continue, providing valuable insights into the region's multifaceted past. The British archaeologist Aurel Stein conducted excavations in the region and found many Hindu temples and writings. His findings, such as a sun temple and a statue of Ganesha, revealed the area's significant Hindu past. Professor Abdul Rahman from Islamabad University also extensively discussed Afghanistan's Hindu history, highlighting rulers like Kusham and Kedara, who constructed numerous Shiva temples, not only in Afghanistan, but also in Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Bukhara, once known as Shavihar, was governed by a Hindu monarch, as documented by Arab and Chinese sources. Additionally, historical records indicate that Kabul Valley was ruled by a Hindu Kshatriya king named Shahi Kingal. Despite challenges from Arab invasions and the dominance of Islamic rule, Hindu influence endured in Afghanistan for centuries. The Shahi kings relocated their capital from Kabul to Udbandapura, modern Und, and later to Kangra in Himachal Pradesh, India, to evade Mahmud Ghazni's attacks. Afghanistan's rich Hindu heritage, often overshadowed by Islamic narratives, remains an essential aspect of the region's cultural legacy, poised to be rediscovered and celebrated. Determining which of the two regions associated with Kush corresponds to the Gihon River becomes clearer when examining its connection to the Tigris and Euphrates, suggesting it likely flows through Iran. Delving into biblical rivers and geographical enigmas, reaching the precise juncture where the Karun River meets the Tigris and Euphrates presents challenges due to its location on the Iraq-Iran border, a politically sensitive zone. Despite these obstacles, approaching this confluence as closely as possible is imperative. Observing the bridge spanning the river, it becomes evident that it doesn't cross the Tigris and Euphrates, but rather another watercourse altogether, underscoring the complexity and significance of this ancient terrain. This bridge traverses what is known as the Karun River, which is considered the primary contender for being the Gihon. In Genesis, there's a description of a river originating from Eden, watering the garden, and then dividing into 4 separate streams. To better comprehend this passage, insights from the esteemed Hebrew scholar E.A. Spicer, found in the Anchor Bible commentary, are invaluable. He clarified the verse's apparent ambiguity, explaining that it actually refers to one river dividing into 4 distinct branches that converge within Eden. This interpretation might seem unconventional, as rivers typically flow from their source downwards until they merge with others. However, Spicer's analysis is supported by the Hebrew language. He suggests that the term heads in verse 10 doesn't denote where the river splits outside Eden, but rather signifies the 4 distinct branches that come together within Eden itself. Therefore, our expedition sets its sights on Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Guided by ancient texts, we navigate towards the land of Havilah, tracing a path opposite Egypt before venturing deeper into the heart of Arabia, towards the majestic Hijaz Mountains. Amongst the rocky peaks and sweeping vistas stands a link between past and present, a place where time seems to stand still and the echoes of history fill the air. Each step through these ancient lands uncovers new mysteries, each view a canvas painted with the hues of days gone by. In the shadow of the mountains lie secrets buried beneath the sands. The Hijaz Mountains stand with a peculiar tilt, as if nature herself has channeled them towards Mesopotamia, creating a unique landscape across Arabia. This tilt gives rise to countless ravines that crisscross the land, forming a network of pathways for rainwater. When the heavens open up, these ravines become channels, merging their waters to create what is believed to be the ancient Pishon River. To the east of the Hijaz Mountains lies a striking high plateau, its surface adorned with rugged rocks and ancient volcanic formations. Ascending this plateau, we are greeted by a vast expanse of volcanic rock, stretching as far as the eye can see. It's proof of the geological history of this region, where the forces of nature have shaped the land over millennia. Descending from the heights of the mountains, there lie the foothills where a beautiful landscape unfolds before us. It's a quiet spot, ideal for setting up camp and resting for the night, surrounded by the beauty of nature. According to ancient texts, the Pishon River winds its way through the land of Havilah, a region known for its abundance of gold. Crossing this ancient land, anyone would marvel at the richness and beauty that surrounds it. One important factor supporting the identification of Arabia as the land of Havilah is the presence of gold. If Arabia is indeed Havilah, then it would boast abundant and high-quality gold. Interestingly, Saudi Arabia is home to the largest and most productive gold mine in the Middle East. Tracing Havilah's riches behind, at the mountain's base, lies the Ma'ad Mine, known as the Cradle of Gold in Arabic. This region boasts 55 gold mines, with Ma'ad Mine being not just the largest among them, but the biggest in the entire Arabian Peninsula. It has been a site of continuous mining for millennia, a testament to its rich history and enduring significance. Adjacent to the mine towards the east lies a road where cars traverse, a modern iteration of the ancient incense route. This historical trade route eased the exchange of commodities mentioned in Genesis 2, running from south to north. It's fascinating to note that Genesis 2 mentions the presence of gold in the land of Havilah, emphasizing its quality. Here, amidst these gold mines, including the prominent Mad mine, this biblical assertion finds physical evidence. Moreover, the route also served as a channel for scented resins, notably frankincense and myrrh. These precious commodities were transported along the incense route, passing merely a kilometer to the east of the Mad mine. The convergence, or meeting of history and commerce in this region, paints a vivid picture of the ancient world's interconnectedness and prosperity. In addition, there are the onyx and other precious stones. These are the same goods mentioned in Genesis 2 as being from the land of Havilah, which Arabia is known for trading. This trade route is where these goods were exchanged, so there's a match between the description of Havilah in Genesis 2 and Arabia. Now the next goal is to locate the ancient riverbed across the Arabian Peninsula. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Dr. Farouk Elbaz, an Egyptian geologist, spotted a massive ancient Arabian river while studying satellite images of Arabia. The ancient riverbed, known locally as Wadi Ruma, was discovered by Dr. Elbaz. It once spanned across Arabia. Archaeologist James Sauer suggests that this river might be the Pishon River mentioned in the Bible, associated with the Garden of Eden. According to Sauer, no other river seems to match the biblical description as well as this one does. Thus, it's a combination of Dr. Elbaz's discovery and Sauer's analysis that confirms the finding of this lost river of Eden. This riverbed is believed to be the most likely possibility for the biblical Pishon River. Originating from the Hijaz Mountains, it eventually joins the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. However, for most of the year, the river remains dry today. In ancient times, during the period known as Jala, the climate was much wetter, supporting a river that flowed continuously across the entire land from Egypt to Assyria. Scholars estimate that this river flowed until around 200,000 BC, when climate changes led to its eventual drying up. At the upper reaches of the river, it flows from the Hijaz Mountains. Interestingly, the same types of volcanic rock found in the Hijaz Mountains can be seen in the gravel of this ancient riverbed. Here there is granite, black basalt, and quartz, all materials observed up in the mountains. The quartz pebbles originate from the Hijaz Mountains, forming deposits that extend into the riverbed. Looking closely, there's a vein of quartz running through the side of the mountain. This massive deposit serves as the primary source for the quartz pebbles scattered throughout the riverbed below. In ancient times, especially when the river was flowing, these pebbles would have been carried downstream, eventually reaching the meeting point of the ancient river with the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. In Genesis, the description of the Pishon River winding through the entire land of Havilah mirrors what this river did in ancient times across Arabia. It curved across the Arabian Peninsula. Locating Wadi Ruma isn't difficult, it's vast. However, following it is challenging and a bit stressful. The soft sand in the riverbed and dunes covering parts of it made navigation tricky. It's fascinating to compare the size of Wadi Ruma, the possibility of the Pishon River, with the Euphrates River. Surprisingly, the banks of Wadi Ruma are even wider than those of the Euphrates today. In ancient times, the Pishon River would have been large, far larger than we had imagined. The riverbed spanned over 1.7 miles wide, which is truly enormous. Tracing the path of ancient rivers. Exploring the area reveals several fenced-off ancient wells within the dry riverbed, remnants of when Wadi Ruma served as a vital route to Mesopotamia. However, the riverbed vanishes beneath a vast expanse of dunes. Crossing the sandy barrier to reach the other side where Wadi Ruma resurfaced, as seen on Google Earth, becomes difficult. On the east side of the dune belt, Wadi Ruma is rediscovered. Following the river upstream, gravel lines its banks, evidence of the ancient river's force. However, approaching Kuwait, the gravel plain expands into a physical fan, indicative of the river's meeting with the Euphrates, Tigris, and Pishon rivers. This fan, spanning much of Kuwait, highlights the significant water flow in ancient times. Notably, the pebbles scattered across the gravel plain puzzled geologist Dr. Farouk Elbaz, leading him to question their origin. His discovery revealed that these pebbles, originating from the Hijaz Mountains, were shaped and transported by the powerful flow of the ancient river. Samples collected from the Hijaz Mountains matched the smoothed pebbles found in the gravel fields, highlighting the transformative journey of these rocks over 500 miles downstream. Dr. Elbaz meticulously mapped the distribution of pebbles along the river, revealing that the stones traveled over 500 miles from the Hijaz Mountains with the river's flow. Following the riverbed for miles on end, witnessing its gradual enlargement, the sheer scale of this flow was awe-inspiring. The question arises, is this river the River Pishon? In conclusion, amidst a gravel bed filled with pebbles, unmistakably sourced from the Hijaz Mountains, the vast riverbed stretching back to the mountains leaves no mystery as to how these pebbles arrived here. Even the locals, when consulted about the wadi's name, confirmed its origin and its journey from Medina in the Hijaz Mountains to Iraq, where it merges with the Tigris and Euphrates. The more we delve into this research and explore the terrain, the more it aligns with Dr. James Sauer's identification of this river as the Pishon from Genesis 2. The Bible describes the Garden of Eden's location concerning 4 identifiable rivers, all of which converge in southern Iraq. While we can only speculate on the pre-flood appearance of this region, the results of research today are quite revealing. Looking into the vast marshes of southern Iraq, near the confluence of the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, water is abundant. The marshes, home to the Marsh Arabs, were once even more extensive, reaching from the Gulf to ancient cities like Eridu and Ur. According to Spicer, these rivers were believed to meet near the head of the Persian Gulf, creating a fertile land revered as the Land of the Blessed. Considering the criteria outlined in Genesis 2, the meeting of these 4 rivers into one occurs in southern Iraq. Moreover, this region's low elevation and warm climate, coupled with ample water supply, make it an ideal place for the Garden of Eden, as described in Genesis 13. Therefore, it is reasonable to conclude that the most likely location for the Garden of Eden is in southern Iraq. The rivers originating from the Garden of Eden in the Bible hold more significance than just being a minor detail in the creation story. They serve as profound symbols of togetherness, illustrating the relationships between God, humanity, and the natural world. These rivers teach a universal truth recognized by every culture: the essential importance of water. It is viewed as a divine gift that sustains life, promotes growth, and brings happiness to all living beings. In essence, water symbolizes God's continuous presence and providence in ensuring the harmony of nature. Each river boasts its own unique attributes and serves a distinct purpose, nourishing various regions of the earth and bestowing blessings upon the lands they traverse. Take the Pishon, for example, which meanders through resource-rich territories, symbolizing God's bountiful provision. Meanwhile, the tranquil flow of the Gihon carries life to distant lands. The Hiddekel, known today as the Tigris, witnesses the birth of civilizations, while the powerful Euphrates becomes the cradle of mighty empires. Despite their individual trajectories and destinations, these rivers originate from a shared source, underscoring unity amidst diversity. They tell a tale of life emerging from a singular divine origin, illustrating the splendor of diversity and the harmony of creation. Functioning as life-bearers, the rivers originating from Eden not only sustain the garden itself, but also nurture the wider world, enabling connections and promoting expansion. Their very presence stands as evidence of the harmony and organization established at the outset of existence. And as they journey from their origin, they reverberate with a fundamental principle. Diversity arises from unity, and from the Creator stems life in its myriad manifestations. Even after the events of Eden, these rivers persist as symbols of the everlasting connection between God, humanity, and the environment, upholding the divine arrangement instituted at the inception of the universe. After Adam and Eve left the serene surroundings of the Garden of Eden, the outside world likely seemed daunting and unforgiving. They grappled with the repercussions of their choices, now facing a life characterized by toil and hardship. Despite their expulsion, the rivers originating from Eden provided a gentle reminder of the paradise they once called home. These waterways symbolized God's parting embrace, offering solace amidst the harsh reality of their new circumstances. Once entrusted with the care of paradise, Adam and Eve now contended with less fertile land and arduous labor. Nevertheless, the rivers endured, serving as both a geographical and symbolic tie to their lost Eden. The discovery of the river Pishon adds an intriguing layer to our understanding of the biblical narrative. It's fascinating to think about how this ancient river, mentioned in the book of Genesis, might have shaped the landscape of Eden. The imagery of rivers flowing from Eden evokes a sense of divine intention, suggesting that Eden's essence was meant to spread far and wide across the earth. The continuous flow of these rivers, including the newly discovered Pishon, symbolizes God's boundless grace, ever-present, life-sustaining, and far-reaching. It's like a reminder that despite humanity's departure from Eden, God's grace continues to reach out to us, offering nourishment and hope even in the face of adversity. Moreover, reflecting on the biblical teachings, such as Romans chapter 5, we are reminded of the profound significance of obedience and redemption. Through Jesus Christ, there's the promise of reclaiming the paradise lost due to sin. This narrative, depicted throughout the Bible, culminates in the promise of paradise regained in Revelation. So, when considering the discovery of the river Pishon, it's not just about a geographical find. It's about connecting it to the larger story of faith and redemption. What do you think about this new discovery? Share your thoughts in the comments below.